From Southern Colorado's high-definition news leader, this is News Channel 13, where the news comes first.
50 million people battling feet of snow tonight. Cities are closed. Thousands of flights are canceled. Tonight, the blizzard shutting down an entire U.S. coast.
And meanwhile, here today, temperatures got into the 60s. Some almost got into the 70s, but that won't last. I've got your forecast coming up.
That we have not forgotten them. We still support them.
A rally supporting Planned Parenthood after a year of intense controversy and tragedy. Their message to the public. Good evening and thanks for joining us. I'm Greg Miller. First up tonight, record snowfall in at least a dozen states. We've learned that 3 people have been killed in a massive snowstorm, 200,000 without power. Let's take a live look outside right now in Times Square. We'll get to that in just a moment, and you can see snow at least a little bit better. Let's go to Carla Bagurena right now with the latest.
Cold New York City that is looking more and more like a ghost town. Cars are completely buried, and the snow just won't let up.
No hype here, the blizzard of 2016 hitting hard. New York City nearly doubling its expected snow totals. Officials forced to ban travel on streets, highways, bridges, and commuter rails. Even some of the city's subway system frozen.
If you have taken your car out for any reason, turn around and go home right now.
In West Virginia, whiteout conditions nearly obscuring this convoy of plows. In Arlington, Virginia, snow-buried police cruisers, the National Guard sending in soldiers to help. Travel by air crippled. No planes going in or out of New York, Washington, or Philadelphia. Instead, equipment lined up to clear the runways. People in the D.C. and Virginia area expecting 3 feet or more of accumulation.
A few feet's okay, but once you get past 24, when they're calling for 36 or 40, you start wondering how much can your roof hold.
But it's not all about the snow. From Long Island to Queens, New York, to the Jersey Shore, front yards, and entire neighborhoods overrun with icy ocean water. Still, New Jersey Governor Chris Christie reassuring his state things are under control.
This is my 17th snow emergency in 6 years. This is certainly not Superstorm Sandy.
But it's not misery for everyone. These deer enjoyed the empty streets of Washington, D.C., and giant panda Tien Tien frolicked at the National Zoo, while a few brave parents helped their kids enjoy this historic blizzard.
And in the last hour, officials here confirming at least 3 people have died from shoveling snow. They are pleading with everyone to be extra cautious, especially considering more snow will continue to fall at least until midnight. Reporting live in New York, I'm Carla Bagurena, ABC News. Now back to you.
Carla, thank you so much. And there is a ripple effect here in Colorado. More flights are canceled out of Denver International today because of the winter storm. The airport reports a total of 82 flights between Denver and the East Coast have been canceled. Yesterday, more than 60 flights were canceled. If you are traveling this weekend, contact the airport ahead of time and your airline to make sure everything is still on schedule. Well, a Colorado Springs family is among those stranded waiting for a flight home. Carrie Noriega and her sister-in-law planned a trip to Brooklyn, only to find their plans being ruined by the storm. These are the photos from their hotel, the only place they can be because the roads are shut down. They are Colorado Springs natives. They know snow, but they say this storm is worse than anything they've seen before.
Right now, the snow is literally going sideways. I haven't seen falling down. It is going sideways all day long. So I walked outside once just to kind of see how it was. And I mean, I had snow all in my face, all over my body within like a minute of being out there.
And we've been in touch with other people from southern Colorado who are stranded on the East Coast, the entire coastline, really. We'll have that for you tonight on News Channel 13 at 10 o'clock. A different story weather-wise here in Colorado. Beautiful day outside. Here's a live look from our Viera wireless camera in Pueblo, northeast of town. A beautiful, beautiful sunset tonight. And let's head over to Storm Tracker 13's Mike Everett right now. And Mike, you're telling us some nice weather today, but it's not going to last much longer.
Today was one of those days, I've been tracking all of that activity in the Northeast today. Made you feel a little bit guilty when you saw temperatures in the 60s. Some of us even pushed the 70s. I saw some upper 60s out in the Southeast, and what that caused was a beautiful day. Larry Mark getting this one from Wilkerson Pass a little bit earlier today, and nice day to get outside. We saw all sorts of deer, all sorts of animals outside locally here today. Megan sent this beautiful beautiful one in as well. You did see that cloud cover move in, and we will continue to see that move in as we get into the evening hours. Now, we talked about some highs, places like Leadville. Been a while since you saw 43 there, but look at this. Springfield, 68 degrees was your high today. Colorado Springs topped out at 61. Downtown it got to 63. That's what we saw in Pueblo. In fact, at one point today, it was warmer in Pueblo than it was in Miami, Florida. Right now, backing off to 50 in Colorado Springs, 52 in Pueblo, 52 is your number in La Junta, 47's in Lamar and Springfield, and Canyon City holding on to 56 there. Currently 28 for you in Alamosa. Taking a look around the country right now, well, as you might expect in the southwest, 60s and 70s there. But this is what we're talking about. That cold air going all the way down into southern Florida. That storm very, very large. Live HD Doppler radar looking good right now, clean and clear, but that's about to change. I've got your Sunday forecast and the implications it could have for the Broncos game coming up. Greg, back to you.
All right, Mike, thanks so much. Grass fires continue to spark in southern Colorado. More than 2 acres burned in Falcon today alone. The fire started just before 11 o'clock this morning. It was spreading north toward a house on Rio Road. Falcon Fire was called to the scene and had the fire under control within about half an hour. While it may be January, the fact doesn't mean much for fire danger.
We live in a desert environment, so even when the temperatures raise, you're going to have low humidity, so the fuels do dry out quickly, whether there's snow on the ground or not. So it's still important to keep the grass short so the fire doesn't spread as quickly.
Investigators tell us the fire was accidentally started by sparks from a metal grinder. No structures were damaged in the fire. And another small fire was caught before it caused major damage at a Colorado Springs apartment building early this morning. Firefighters say it started in the hallway of the Shannon Glen apartment complex. As of now, they think an appliance that was left in the hallway caught on fire and spread to a pile of trash that was also left out.
One of the neighbors was knocking on the other neighbor's door, calling that there was a fire, and then she asked her, "Are we going to evacuate?" And she said she doesn't know yet because they don't know how the distance, you know, how big the fire was yet.
The cause of that fire is still under investigation. Planned Parenthood supporters rallied in full force today at the corner of Garden of the Gods at Centennial, just down the road from the shooting tragedy that happened in November. And that's where we find KRDO News Channel 13's Michaelia White. Michaelia, a very heated debate on both sides of this topic as they rallied.
That's right, Greg. Just a few hours ago, more than 100 people were standing at the intersection behind me, chanting with signs.
I say pro, you say choice, pro! Choice! 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 Choice!
Now, Planned Parenthood has come under fire recently after an anti-abortion group called Center for Medical Progress released controversial videos targeting the nonprofit. But some people in Colorado Springs say the need for those services has changed their lives, and abortion services aren't the only reason why.
People need to understand that Planned Parenthood is not a single mission facility. They are here to support women in all the choices they make. I am a gay woman. I have 2 children. And I've used Planned Parenthood services not to end life, but to start life.
And the group also held the rally for the 43rd anniversary of Roe v. Wade, which affirmed a woman's freedom to make her own choices about her body and health. That anniversary was yesterday, and the group tells me it doesn't end here. They do plan to have more rallies in the future. Live in Colorado Springs, Michaelia White, KRDO News Channel 13.
Michaelia, thank you. Searchers in Clear Creek County have found the body of a missing hiker. Todd Musselman was reported missing a week ago after he never returned home. The Denver area man was found covered in snow near St. Mary's Glacier. He's the apparent victim of an avalanche. The search for Musselman was delayed out of fears of another avalanche in the search area. A 17-year-old in Western Canada is charged with 4 murders tonight. Police say the teen shot 2 other teens at a home in a remote Aboriginal community in Saskatchewan. He then headed to his school where he shot 9 more people. 2 of them were killed. Because of Canadian law, the boy's name and his relationship to the victims is not being released. Colorado state lawmakers and school leaders are gathering valuable lessons from a recently released school shooting report.
This process is no longer about our precious daughter, Claire, nor is it about Carl Pearson.
In an emotional hearing last night, lawmakers and administrators heard from the father of victim Claire Davis. Classmate Carl Pearson shot and killed Davis back in December of 2013. Michael Davis choked back tears as he urged lawmakers to implement the report recommendations immediately.
Successful change in helping kids in crisis will only be realized when all schools embrace the recommendations in these reports.
The report says Arapahoe High School and Littleton Public Schools failed to act on several red flags leading up to the tragedy, including an incident weeks before the shooting when Pearson threatened to kill a teacher. The report says better communication between administrators, school districts, and police is key. Well, Donald Trump is on the campaign trail this weekend praising his supporters, but a comparison he made has some scratching their heads. Plus, another big name may be entering the presidential race, and it could mean a three-party campaign this season.